Welcome to Sabercats Weekly. I'm Dave Lewis in for Chris Townsend, and coming up on the show, a visit with head coach Darren Arbet, a look at last Saturday's loss to Philadelphia and what lies ahead with Chicago, and a visit with defensive back J.C. Neal. It's all coming up on Sabercats Weekly. Checked outside, the sun did come up for the San Jose Sabercats as they push forward for a trip to the postseason, and with the head coach Darren Arbet. Good seeing you again, Coach.
Great seeing you, Dave.
You had a slow start against Philadelphia in a big game, one of the best teams in the league, but you got things going offensively in the second quarter, developing some rhythm and timing. What happened in that second to make it a one-score game?
Defensively, we started playing better. Special teams, we made a play, and offense, like you said, we got a little rhythm going.
Did you make any adjustments in terms of what Philadelphia was doing to you early on?
You know, we tried. Things wasn't going our way, and sometimes that's going to happen, and that's what I told the guys.
What happened in those first few possessions when you just couldn't get anything going and they were able to capitalize on any miscue?
Yeah, a couple of those long balls went off of fingertips. We were inches away from making plays, and we didn't catch the football.
Yeah, that really is an illustration of maybe you can't win a game in the first quarter, but maybe that first quarter not playing well can really set you behind the 8 ball for the entire game.
Yeah, it set us behind, but there was still a lot of football to be played, and I thought the guys kind of regrouped, played hard, but we didn't make enough plays to win the football game.
And when you got back in it, there was a familiar refrain in that second quarter, Mikna to Rowe.
A lot of time, fires into the end zone, touchdown, Sabercats, and it is James Rowe with a tremendous catch in the corner.
James Rowe, what can you say? First ballot Hall of Famer, can catch the ball, great route runner, and he's a leader in the locker room.
Did you expect that kind of production from him in game one?
Oh, yeah. Rowe can play this game. As long as he's in shape, and he told me he was in shape, Rowe's a great football player.
How did that conversation come about when you're looking at filling a need and you have a guy that's been sitting out the entire season and kind of bring those two together?
Oh, we had 2 injuries. Fred Williams wasn't going to play. DeMarco Simmons went down. So we needed someone who knew our system. Carl Rowe said he was in great shape, brought him in. He was, and he played good.
Is there an issue in terms of developing a timing with Mikna when you haven't been around? He's used to Grebe all those years with San Jose and those great championship teams, but working with a new guy.
Definitely a timing issue, but they look pretty good. There was a couple things that was off, but for the most part, I was pretty happy with those two hooking up.
First down from their own 23. Mikna dropping back to pass. Looking deep in the end zone for James Rowe. He's got it! Touchdown, Sabercats!
You have a guy that's won 3 Arena Bowl championships. He's been all Ironman 3 times back when you were rewarded for playing both sides of the ball. What does a guy like that bring in terms of presence into your locker room?
God, he's a leader. The guys respect him. The things that he's done back when they were young, they used to watch him on TV and just making tremendous plays, and he did it the other night.
Mikna dropping back, looking, lofting. Rowe again! James Rowe! Another touchdown!
And sandwiching those touchdowns with Rowe was an onside kick, and you're 6 for 25 in that particular category on the year. What makes a good onside kick recovered team?
Just everyone working together, the timing, guys getting their guy and trying to get the ball and being where they're supposed to be.
Second half, you had trouble getting things going offensively. What happened in that third, once you were clicking in the second, where things kind of went haywire for you in that third period?
We just didn't play well, Dave. I mean, we could sit here and break it down any way we want. We didn't play as well as we wanted to play in all 3 phases. Defense, we didn't play the way we wanted to. Offense, we definitely didn't play the way we wanted to. And special teams, I thought we could have played a lot better.
You mentioned special teams and offense and defense in all 3 areas of the game. You got a guy that is excelling in all 3 areas, offense, defense, and special teams in Huey Whitaker. Is there anything he doesn't do well?
Huey's a solid football player. Huey's a smart football player. And the thing Huey does offensively, he really understands his game. Defensively, he understands what the offense is doing. In special teams, he knows what the blocking schemes is 9 times out of 10. So he makes his way down there, and he's always making plays, Dave.
Are you ever concerned about fatigue with a guy like that?
He's in great shape. No, I'm not. He's been great. He's been wonderful, playing both ways, playing on all the special teams, and hasn't asked to be pulled out once.
Do you look at this game as a measuring stick in terms of where you are right now, and if you want to be a championship team, the little areas you need to improve on to be better?
You have 18 shots to get ready for the tournament. That was shot number 17. Obviously, we didn't come out and play well. The guys understand that. I still have a lot of confidence in the guys in this locker room. They've played great most of the season, and we've gotten a lot better. And there's a few things we need to work on. Even going into that game, there was a lot of things we needed to get better at. And we just had a slow start, and our rhythm was off.
This week's offensive player of the game is wide receiver James Rowe. San Jose's all-time leading receiver had 6 catches for 70 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Philadelphia Soul in his first appearance of 2013. He now has a franchise record 280 receiving scores.
The Offensive Player of the Week has been brought to you by Rosenhart Family Chiropractic.
Do you ever wonder what one of the greatest players in arena football history says in the field? We had a chance to mic up Hall of Fame selection Cleveland Thomas last Saturday against Philadelphia. Check it out.
Let's show them what time it is. We're going to dominate, we're going to slide, then we're going to slide back, and then we'll slide with it. Am I right? Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Dominate!
Wait a minute.
Hey, you, I got slant. Fly. All right, you got to go long. I'm just waiting. Okay. You going, hey, inside, I got him. Outside, you got him. Inside, I got him. Yeah, whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. Smash.
2nd and goal now from the 8. Roundabout. Quick throw into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
That's me. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Roundabout, short set, fires for the touchdown. And he had Tiger Jones.
Come on, man. Too old, though. Yeah, I got it. But I got him, though. Yeah, he ain't. Out of bounds. Juggle. All day. Kenny. Nothing. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Let it go. You better get in here, boy. You better get in here, boy. Let it go. Let's go, man. Man. And Kenny came right back and hit him to the wall over there. He didn't want to get up, dog. I saw it in his eyes. He did not want to get up. Out of bounds. What you call? No, he was out of bounds. You serious? What happened? How? Are you serious? Can you call it both sides then? They don't dress in our receivers though. Are you serious? Look. Out of bounds.
Just don't hold him the whole route.
No, but listen, I understand what I'm saying. How am I holding when he ran right into me? He didn't even give a move. He didn't give a move though.
I don't care if you hold him right at the line.
Okay. I'm just saying, but if you come with his head, okay.
Throughout the route, then we have a problem.
Okay. We good. Be on side.
And Bertwee with the high bouncer. It's a loose football. Sabercats dive on top of it, and they have it. Cleveland Thomas comes up with the ball. Bertwee, a spectacular onside kick.
Nothing. Nothing. Decoy. Decoy. Kenny. Yeah. Let it go. Saber.
3rd and goal for the Ford. Routabaugh with a quick jumping pass and caught by Brackett's back of the end zone. Touchdown.
Yeah, man. Look. Watch out. Flash. Watch fire take off. No. Man. Keep balling, man. Stay healthy, all right? He's on the best in the playoff.
Wardrobe has been brought to you by Eli Thomas Menswear.
This week's defensive player of the game is Iron Man Huey Whitaker. He posted 4.5 tackles and returned an interception for a touchdown against the Philadelphia Soul. He now has 6 interceptions on the season, 4 of which he has returned for scores.
The Defensive Player of the Week has been brought to you by Rosenhart Family Chiropractic.
Sabercats Weekly continues with defensive back J.C. Neal. Had a chance to visit with you off air. Now, you've been around Tulsa and Kansas City, and you said that, hey, the ultimate for you would be to play in San Jose. Why is that?
It's a good franchise. It's a winning franchise. They got good history. There's a lot of good players come through here. And I like the defensive scheme, no man-to-man, no mano-a-mano, and I like that.
A little better weather?
Yeah, a lot better weather.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You had a stinging loss against Philadelphia, and Coach said that it's difficult for coaches to get over it, but players get over it faster. What about for you after you lost that game?
It took a little time. You kind of go home and think about it, and then you erase it. You learn from it. You take the criticism that's going to come with it, after you watch the film, and you just move on to the next week. We got another game left in the season, and we have to focus on that.
At what point in this season did you feel like, hey, this is a championship caliber team?
Probably after about our 8th win. I never won that many games in the arena. This is my 3rd year. I won like 8 maybe one year, 3 the next year. So when we started winning the second little streak, I'm like, yeah, and it's a real strong possibility that we're going to the championship. We're a championship caliber team.
And certainly beating Arizona didn't hurt either.
Yeah.
You, out of Sumter, South Carolina, were a high school running back. How about that transition to becoming a defensive back?
I always played both sides. It wasn't that hard. I was kind of athletic, a little more on the aggressive side. So tackling was never a problem for me, or just being aggressive anyway, wasn't a problem for me. It's less responsibility because you don't have to catch the ball. You can catch the ball, but it's kind of better when you kind of stopping people, kind of putting a period on it, man, no touchdowns for you.
You, as a young player, your youth coach said, your 6th grade coach, he's a quiet kid, but he just wants to learn. You're not as quiet anymore, though, are you?
No, not so much, but at times, depending on the environment, I might be a little quiet, but I'm not so much quiet anymore.
Now, the Sabercats had a contest, a sandwich-making contest with Ike's, and yours was picked as the best sandwich in the group and actually put it on the menu. What did it have in it?
Country fried steak, cheese, ranch, bacon, and onions.
You make that up, or did you have it before?
I made it up. I asked him what he liked. He said country fried steak, and I went with it.
Fair enough.
And I won.
That's awesome. Prospects this year, the Sabercats will win it all if blank.
We stay together and play hard, As long as we stay together and, because obviously we're going to be on the road, 4 seed. So we just got to stay together, hostile environments. Just play hard, stay together, play as a family, and we'll win.
What will be the biggest obstacle? Obviously, you have Chicago coming up this week, but as far as you winning the championship, who stands there for you?
Obviously, we lost twice to Spokane. I think that's going to be, if they can make it through, we have to face them. That's going to be our biggest obstacle. But we want to win. We're going to win all of them. We want to win all of them anyway. But I think that's going to be our toughest obstacle throughout the playoffs.
Do you feel like you have a score to settle with Spokane?
Yeah, very big one. It's hard to beat a team, 3 times. So hopefully we're gonna see how that goes.
Sure. You've obviously made the adjustment in this league, but I remember reading about you coming out of college that, hey, he has to learn the angles, learning the speed of this game that is different. What about the adjustment from outside the 100-yard field to this one?
Everything happens a lot quicker in the inside. You don't have a lot of leeway on route judgment. It's just quicker. The pace of the game is quicker. It's not that big of an adjustment long as once you learn the game, arena game, and just listen to the veteran players, it's not that big of an adjustment.
How long did it take to learn the game?
Probably after about the fourth game, you get thrown into never playing arena before. You kind of get the gist of it after about the fourth or fifth game.
What about playing for Coach Arbette, and how does that compare to where you've been before?
Coach Arbette is a very smart coach. He may not say much, but just by the game plan that he put together, you can tell that he's very in tune with this arena football. I've never been involved with a coach that strategically does onside kicks, certain parts of the game, right? But it's so smart. If you don't get it, you get him inside the red zone with 4 downs. Defense have to play tough, but my first impression of him is he's very laid back and he's very smart.
One thing he did earlier in the year, right, the team missed an extra point. He said, hey, that was my fault, and he'll be accountable for losses and mistakes during the game, even when it's not his fault, when the players make mistakes. But that lets you know that he's in it with you. Does that make a difference, that he's willing to take responsibility for stuff that might not be his fault?
I think that's a big contributor to this whole thing working on. This whole team, from training staff all the way down to the players, coaches including, everybody is accountable. If you mess up, you take it like a man, you go from there. And that's the biggest thing, the biggest contributor to being 12-4, 12-5, whatever it is being accountable.
Do you think you can play professional football? Would you like to play for the San Jose Sabercats? Well, on September 28th on Saturday, we will have open tryouts to see whether or not you're good enough to play for the San Jose Sabercats.
One final regular season game for the Sabercats before the playoffs, and back with the coach, Darren Arbette, the Chicago Rush, coached by a guy you're very familiar with, and Bob McMillan. What do you remember about him as a Sabercats player?
Tough guy, one of my favorites, all-time favorite. Came in here, turned the team around, very physical, leader in the locker room, leader out on the field. It was a joy to coach him.
What's it like coaching against a friend or a guy that you worked with before?
Bob's doing a tremendous job in Chicago, moving around this year, playing that extra game here on the road, has his team playing hard. They won the division, so I'm proud of Bob.
It's a playoff team that's going to make some noise coming up in the next couple of weeks. What about their personnel that concerns you?
Oh, Kaufman, their quarterback, he's playing well right now. Reggie Gray's a speedster, one of their receivers, as well as return man. Back in that defensive backfield, Vic Hall got a few interceptions against Arizona. And Tyus Jackson, he really can bring it from that linebacker spot.
Reggie Gray has 133 catches, 45 touchdowns on the year, and most of their offense in terms of the receiver is pretty top-heavy. How do you plan on matching up against a guy like that?
I like Kenny Fontenette, Clee Thomas, J.C. Neal. Our DBs can cover, and I have a lot of confidence in them.
What about the mindset of your group after that Philadelphia loss, where you turn the page and you're able to focus on the next game? How long? I know I've heard coaches say, hey, it bothers coaches longer than players.
It really does. The players, they have to move on. I have to move on because we have Chicago here, and if we let it linger too much about what happened last week, we'll struggle against Chicago. They're a good football team. They just beat the #1 team in this league, and they're playing well right now, and they're coming here, and we have a tough football game ahead of us.
What about stylistically? You will beat Chicago if you blank.
We just got to play hard, play our game, stay focused, play one play at a time, and just do what we do.
Sure. Is rhythm an issue now when you have Rowan for another week and you have more time to work with McNabb, where maybe he'll be even more effective in Game 2 than Game 1?
A lot of confidence in these guys, Dave. They're going to get all that corrected. We're going to come out and we're going to play hard, and we're going to see what happens.
Anyone who follows this league knows that the strength is in that national conference with your team in Spokane and Arizona, Chicago, a threat as well, and maybe Philadelphia is the best team in the East. What kind of measuring stick is the Chicago game for as you move ahead?
All I do, I watch tape to see what we're working with. My concern is this football team. We need to get better in certain spots. We need to play at a certain level. The guys understand that, and that's the way we look at it.
What things do you need to fine-tune as you wind the season down?
Our whole game. We have to come out consistent every game. We have to tackle. We have to cover. We have to block. We have to catch. All those things you do in a football game to win, and we understand we have to get better every week at all those things.
What about your health as you wind the season down? Conditioning is a factor, and you guys obviously seem to be in great shape throughout the year. Ballpark in terms of where you're at health-wise.
Everybody's beat up right now. Everyone's hurt. That's not a factor. I told the guys the first day of camp, your bodies aren't going to feel this way, and you're going to be playing your best ball at the end of the year.
The Sabercats have one final regular season game coming up on Saturday against Chicago at the SAP Center starting at 7:30. Tickets are still available. We'll have all the highlights next week on Sabercats Weekly. See you next time.
Sabercats Weekly has been brought to you by Logitech, Norton, Swan, Eli Thomas Menswear, and Fries.com.